Hello traders, this is a recap video for German DAX for November the 27th. In front of us is the updated chart that I have posted before the open, and in the middle of pre-market, right at about at 8:30, we had this spike up just when I was recording the morning prep video. It was some news related stuff, and one of the principles that we can reuse in our trading is that these news driven moves tend to retrace. These trend lines are here for as reference points, and these black dots were representing the range extreme zones in case of some bigger moves. So now let's go to the charts and to observe what kind of opportunities we had today. So this was that spike up in pre-market, and basically that was a news driven move, and any of the
infinity and beyond,
any of the bulls who really expected that move to be to infinity and beyond, like Buzz Lightyear would said, got it wrong, because spikes and moves of that type, news driven moves, almost always are going to die at the first larger time frame zone, or they will skip one zone and then die at the next zone. So I have seen in my trading years of DAX news driven spikes that can make a market move 200 points to the upside in like 10 minutes, and then another 10 minutes later it is retraced, all of it. So if you are just walk out of your house for 20 minutes and 20 minutes later you are back in the home and price is the same, but it had a 200 point spike up and then it all retraces. So that is the destiny of many of the news driven moves. They are quickly retraced, in all of it fully retraced, or a big part of it is retraced. So that was the opportunity really to go short, but this is questionable. You don't know where this move will end. You will have to be ready to act in pre-market. So I will skip this opportunity, as it was a hard one to take, and more focus on the lower hanging fruits that were available for us today. And just I want to emphasize these zones. If you have good support and resistance zones, then you can fully expect the market to play its moves through it. If you will see this, you will watch this same chart, but on, let's say, a futures blanco chart, and this is today. Well, this move to an untrained eye or to novice trader pretty much looks like some gibberish, and you would think, okay, how the hell am I going to make any money out of it? Then you're going to start to draw some lines on it, and you will start to maybe observe some things, how a price can react to a trend line, where could be some zones and so on. But if you do have zones like this, then you can expect the price to test those zones and to respect those zones. And another principle that is going to be reused again and again is that the first test of the zone carries the greatest odds for success, and this is it. Now we had that spike. Pre-market is over. We have pre-market low, we have pre-market high, and now price is testing this zone for the first time today. And this zone is a really important zone. As you can see, this zone was tested 3 times yesterday. These 2 times were in regular trading hours. This was the after hour market, and now in RTH session this is the first test, and this is the long for us. The zone is important because, as you can see on the daily chart of cash index, this is here. This zone is above this visible gap. So buyers had to defend this gap, and they are likely to defend that gap on a first test. So now we have this move, and the logical thinking now is to close your trade at the next zone, because this was a spike up, and now when the price is has reached the zone above, this zone is good for you to close your long, and if you missed all of this movement, to enter a short trade right here. Why? Because we had this spike, it is retraced completely, and this is not only the zone, but it is also, this pullback is also right to the point 61.8 retracement of this move to the downside, and it is in confluence with the zone. So this is also a short opportunity here to close again at the zone. We have pre-market low, we have a zone here. So this is where you are going to close your short. This is your short closing. And now we observe the price behavior, the price action here. This is the second test of the zone. And now market is telling us that it is ready for a breakdown of this zone, because it has first test, it had a pullback. Then this is a second test, it has a really small bounce, very small bounce, and then now it is testing the back end of the zone, and now just poking above, testing pre-market low, rejection, testing pre-market low, rejection, and just hugging support level. That is always a bad sign. For the bulls, that is a bad sign for this support. It is a sign that support likely isn't going to hold, at least short term. Then they breached the zone, but we didn't have a test of this zone yet. And observe this kind of movement. This is a movement starting from 2:20 p.m. Now market is awaiting, DAX is awaiting for US markets to open. They are awaiting New York Stock Exchange open, and they are making this kind of move very slowly, very methodically, going up. Pretty much looks like a bear flag, and you can also draw a small trend line like this and observe that this got rejected again from the pre-market low. And that is your entry here for a short, and you can also watch what the S&P does. At that same time, they also had a move down right after the open. Again, our target or our objective is just this first zone to the downside, because by this time market has shown to us that besides this first spike and retrace of it, there is no sufficient momentum, there is no tempo on the market, and that we should just fade the zones and go from one zone to another. So this is your exit, and it was a very fast 50-point move, and you're exiting your trade here. Now again, this exit of the short setup could be your entry for a long, because now this zone, which is a zone from larger time frames, and now this is the first test. And that there's another principle that can be reused, and that is that if you are at a larger time frame zone, then it is normal for price to balance, to balance for some time before it moves. And it did balance for some time, and then it again moves to the same broken zone. And this is again our exit here. So we had some opportunities, and the school book opportunity really was here, this first long. You could also draw a trend line connecting these lows from yesterday, and observe this. For a trend line you need two dots, 1, 2. This is the first test of the trend line. So basically here you had false breakdown of pre-market low, first test of the zone, and first test of the trend line. The zone itself is enough for you to first test of the zone itself. It is enough for you to make a trade, and on top of it you also have had a test of pre-market low, basically a false breakdown of it, test of this trend line. So this is the first. This is long opportunity. This is now first test in the RTH session of this zone for a short. And it was also a very good opportunity, and now you're exiting here. So this is an exit. Observing the price make a move to the zone, can't go above pre-market low. US markets also moving down. This is a short, and this is really a quick one. Look on the 1 minute chart how quick that move was. So first breakdown candle below the trend line, there is your entry right here. Exit as soon as the price touches the first touch of this zone. This is your exit. Now you observe the price and you can go long here and exit again here. So that was our opportunities, and I just want to emphasize some things that I have learned from other traders, and that is something about the opportunity potential. This is from Avais Bukhari, from A-mini day trader. He said the opportunity potential is not the same every day. Calibrate your execution to match the market environment. That means being aggressive when there's clarity and the reward potential is high, and being conservative or selective when the reward potential is low. And how can you know that? Well, you are observing the price movement. And by this time it's already like 11:30, so the best hours for DAX trading are already gone, and we didn't really had, expansion of the range, big moves, lots of momentum or anything like that. So the opportunity potential isn't really that big. So we are going just from one zone to another. And really, as a in day trading, it is very important for us to know that there is no room for waiting for confirmation. We do not have that kind of luxury. So execution must be decisive. And that is another thing to emphasize. My favorite quote is from Mark Douglas. It says, when a pattern presents itself, don't think. There's nothing to think about. Take the trade because you have an edge. And you do have an edge on a first test of the zone. That is your edge. Okay, that was it for me. Now it's 6 p.m. Regular trading hours in Germany are over. Now we are trading in sympathy with US markets. And tomorrow, as always, you will get an updated chart with adjusted zones. I wish you good trading and a good night.